Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show.
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast for all that crap we love to talk about. On Yo Bravs. Hi, everybody. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the end of the season of Below Deck Down Under, Ben.
I know. And by the way, standing ovation for a tremendous season and also standing ovation to a really good season finale. Sometimes these below deck season finales can be a little rote. It's sort of like they go out, they have dinner, the captain takes them out to dinner, there's happiness, some drunkenness, and then we will spend 15 minutes watching people leave the boat. But there was drama all the way up to the very, very end. So standing ovation to a wonderful second season.
Yeah, really, really good one. Everybody, thank you for being here. We are on video today, as always now. You can find those videos at Crappens On Demand level over at patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. It's also where you will find our bonus episodes. This week was a pretty serious one. Usually they're fun and funny. Sometimes they're about our lives. Sometimes there are other recaps. Sometimes just go over there, join it. Okay, don't be silly. And thank you to everybody who has joined it and who has been with us. And thank you to everybody who hasn't joined it and who is with us right now. We don't care. We love you either way. Also, Crappy Hour, super fun last night. That is our Instagram live show every other Monday night. So we'll have 2 weeks and 2 Mondays, first and third Monday of the month. We'll be back with another one, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time over on our Instagram live at Watch What Crappens. Follow us both, Ronnie Karam and Ben Mandelker on Instagram, because why not, guys? Get some nudes. Okay. Yeah. So today, here we are with, well, first of all, do you have any other announcements you'd like to throw in there?
Just that you look great, pie. Ronnie. You look wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'd like to announce that Ronnie looks wonderful.
That is so sweet. Can you see my insides? It's the only place that it counts. They really did my Botox tight. Look how I cannot barely move my face at all. I'm not usually I get it so I can still move my I can put my eyebrows up, but I can't squish them together at all, which I guess is the point, but I look really funny trying to.
And I have an announcement about my eyebrows, which was that I was going to pluck them this morning and I forgot. So they're raging even worse than before.
Love them. Okay, let's get to this. So we open, this episode is 218. The end is called She's Just Not That Into You, which unfortunately nobody ever told Culver, which was a shame. But the title did. So hopefully Chef Keem will read that to him later. We open with albino sharks on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. One
is lying there and the other is slithering over it.
They showed that footage twice because they definitely showed that later in the episode too, which was crazy.
Yeah, it's gross, and I don't want to body shame a shark, but you're gross, albino sharks. I don't even know if that's what you're called, and I hope I'm not offending albinos, because albinos, you're not gross. It's just how I would classify this shark if I had to make it up. And they are, because they're sharks, and sharks eat people, and I don't like that.
Yeah, okay. A lot of lazy sharks on this season. We've seen a lot of footage of sharks just laying on the sand, and I grew up and I was always told that sharks can never sleep because the moment they stop moving, they die, which I don't think is actually true. But I grew up with that. It's not true at all.
That is a goddamn lie.
And this show, if anything, has disproven that because it's just a lot of sleepy sharks. A lot of sleepy sharks down there. It's like Culver sharks.
Disproven? They've also disproven that thing where if you eat and then you jump in a pool, you die. Do you remember hearing that one when you were little?
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah, that's a classic. This one, they eat and then they jump in the water all the time.
All the time. I was also, my friend's mom told me that if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you'll die in the middle of your sleep. So I think that's also been disproven. Yeah.
I've never heard that one, but I like that we're getting into just more random things.
Yeah. But anyway, we had a huge
But I also step on a crack and break your mother's back or break your grandmother's back because that's been disproven. I
hope so.
Yeah. Otherwise, there would be a lot of just...
There'd be a big
immobile
issue.
mothers. Yeah.
There would be a real issue in the hospitals.
Yeah.
So, big cliffhanger. One of the biggest cliffhangers we've ever seen in any below deck franchise. Will Zarina make an onion volcano? I don't know. I mean, all week long I thought about it.
Teppanyaki. That's what I would call teppanyaki in these groups of episodes, because it was teppanyaki drama. It was teppanyaki. It was teppanyaki. Teppanyaki. So stupid. But yes, they're trying to make Serena do teppanyaki for them. These horrible guests. By the way, these guests are horrible human beings.
Terrible.
They're trying to force teppanyaki on an untrained person. And Captain Jason's like, what the fuck? Who cares? Nobody cares. Just get out. So what? Who cares? Go out. Do it. Do teppanyaki. This is what you get paid the big bucks for. Okay?
Yeah. So Jason's mad because Serena's like, don't do it. Won't do an onion volcano. I'll do a lot of things. I'll flirt with Joao. I'll have sex with Joao. I will not make an onion volcano. Don't make me do it. It won't happen. Not in my repertoire. Not in my quiver. Not in my life experience. No onion volcanoes.
And the last line of the last episode was the chef getting pissed because Serena said not doing it. And he goes, I'm going off the Richter scale now, which we knew he wasn't going to do, right? I said, no, you're not. And he sure as shit doesn't. He just goes up to her and she's like, am I being told off right now? And he's like, no, we're having a conversation. All right, now let's go all in and deal with what you've got in front of you. We've just got to get on with it. Wow, that was like an earthquake of charm.
9.3.
Oh
9.3 on the charm scale. He's like, listen, when I got onto this boat and I said, look at this 1977 Japanese fishing boat that's been turned into a single prop adventure yacht, did I say I give up? I said, no, I'm going to deal with what's in front of me. So I want you to look straight in the eye of that volcano, that onion volcano, and say, it's not Jovis the volcano, Zarino with the volcano. Now go do it.
I'd like to think whatever anger management person has worked with this chef, because we've never seen a chef like this who's been so in control of their emotions. It's weird. It makes me not trust her food. But I'd like to think whatever anger management person has worked with her and taught her the poking your cheek with your tongue method of keeping rage at bay, because she does, like, when you get some, I don't know, some spinach or kale's a bad one that gets stuck between your molar and your back tooth, and you're just like,
Are doing it?
Yeah, you're trying to get it out with your tongue. That's what Serena does to avoid beating the shit out of the captain, and I have to say, works pretty well. The captain does not, in fact, get the shit beat out of him.
No, it's a lot of. She doesn't beat the shit out of him. He doesn't go off the Richter scale. It's actually a pretty civilized experience. She goes, well, it's just planning something all day in your head and getting excited about it. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, nope, not going to do it anymore. Of course, I'm talking about embarking on a 3-month intense relationship with Joao, but onion volcano too. Onion
and let's
volcano.
not forget, you get excited about something, and then the last minute you can have Culver, you can't have Culver. It's not the first time this season that's happened, actually. So I don't know how many times I'm supposed to expect Culver's rug to get pulled out from under me, but here we are again.
Well, you have your frustrations. That's fine. I have mine. Can't do a double prop. Just spent most of the season going in circles. No one seems to notice, but I do. It's tough. Let's try to work through it. We'll go through. We'll go on. We'll move on.
And she's like, well, I have been watching YouTube videos. So that's one thing that I've done. And he goes, all right, you're over it then. He doesn't even let her finish his sentence. He's like, all right, the job here is done. I'd like to thank YouTube for saving another employee's ass on this one. Thank you.
I know Zarina. I know what she's like. She just needs a little encouragement. She sees a mountain of work in front of her, specifically a mountain made of onions, and she needs to bite it off a little bit and take it one step at a time, one ring at a time, one blaze of fire at a time.
He does a teppanyaki example for her and lights something in a pan, like lights an onion thing in a pan.
It's like a
onion tower.
red onion tower, yeah.
Yes.
Which is not the kind of onion you're supposed to use in an onion volcano, but that's fine.
I didn't think so either. Those are tougher onions to fry like that.
Use a white onion or yellow onion.
Yeah.
Like Chef Kim.
Come on, Chef Kim would know better. Didn't she give Culver a lap dance? Come on, guys. This is entertainment. So he does the teppanyaki example, and he goes, look, and then they go, wow, that's amazing. You know, you got to flip up some proms and they catch them in the mouth and stuff. With this crew, that lady who just threatened to murder somebody behind the door for ironing her shirt wrong, can you imagine if that lady gets a fucking shrimp thrown on her skirt?
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I thought it was so funny that like the lady complaining about her dress and the other one being like, if she ruins my cult Gaia dress, I'm gonna kill her. I'm like, but you guys have specifically requested a chef to throw food at you guys. You literally have chosen oily food to be thrown in your general direction on a boat, on a shaky boat. Get out of here.
Exactly.
Go back to San Juan Capistrano.
No, they said where they're from, and it's not shocking at all. We'll get to that later. So she giggles, and he's like, okay, you'll do good. So he does a great job, and he's like, listen, if I can put on some budgie smugglers and serve the guests breakfast, then Serena can make an onion volcano. And you know what? I don't appreciate, I love Captain Jason, but dissing the art of teppanyaki, I'd like to think a teppanyaki chef just threw a knife with a bit of steak on it at the screen when they saw this. Like, fuck you, dude. I trained for years to teppanyaki properly.
We're not doing false equivalencies here. Putting on a budgie smuggler is not nearly as hard as making a small volcano out of increasingly smaller onion slices.
I mean, it's not the volcano. It's throwing food and getting it in people's mouth. That's like people just assuming, oh, that's a guy. Throw him the key. Just be like, hey, Ronnie, here's the keys. And then you throw them at me and expect me not to go, and start waving my arms like I'm being attacked by a swarm of bees. Okay? You can't do that to people.
That being said, these people are so awful they deserve an untrained teppanyaki chef who will get scallops and shrimp all over their shirts.
The community theater cast of Don't Worry, Darling. Yes, I would love to see them get fucking half raw shrimp thrown at their fucking cult Gaia dresses. Yes.
You know what? And I fucking hope that one of them had a house that was clipped by Shannon Bedore. I'm like, I don't know who got their house clipped by Shannon, but I hope it was Melissa, who now has a little chunk out of her wall.
Yeah. And
I hope she got bedored.
I hope that she couldn't find like her robe, so she had to throw on the dress that Bravo ironed improperly and melted to run out to the middle of the street to find Shannon Bedore pretending to walk her dog.
By the way, Ronnie, I do have a grievance with you, which you never sent me your steamer information.
Well, maybe you should read the comments on Watch What Crappens posts because I literally have given it to 10 people. Okay.
Wow.
And now, thanks a lot, because now guess what I'm going to get? I'm going to get more people commenting, Ronnie, what's the name of the steamer? And now I have to go to Amazon again. Okay.
Why don't you put it on a story? Put it on an Instagram, because you can't copy from an Instagram comment. It's difficult.
Because I'm not getting paid for this shit. Okay. I'm not going to make a whole post. Well, that's true though. I'm not making a. Okay, listen. Here's the name of it, everybody, in case you want the perfect travel steamer, which I'm not getting paid to advertise at all, even though it's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and I would order 20 more of them.
Oh, you know what? You did send this to me.
I did, right? I thought I did.
You did.
Okay, it's called the Nesugar, N-E sugar steamer for clothes steamer, fashion portable handheld garment steamer. I'm sure it's nothing fancy, guys, because it's called Nesugar. No one knows how to pronounce it, which means it's some kind of Amazon brand. But it works very well.
That's good to know. By the way, in my sewing class, the irons in that sewing class, I've never had such amazing irons. Have you ever used a proper industrial iron? Because it is a game changer. And on top of that, they're adorable. The iron, you don't put it on its butt. You let it just sit there on the ironing board, and it has little feet that come out and raise it up. Like, oh, well, don't want to touch that board. I'm going to just put my feet out.
No, I've never used one, but I would love one.
I'm going to get the information for you. Since you gave me steamer information, I'm going to give you fancy iron information in return, because I think you would love it.
Thank you. Okay, so now we go to Culver and Jamie in the mess, and Margot's kind of watching them, and Culver's like, I got you something, because you're not able to go to the beach with us today, because Margot has stolen Jamie's final service day. So Jamie's like, oh, it's a shell. Is it a broken shell?
Broken.
Did you get me a broken shell? You got me a shell. Wow.
Wait a second. Is this just a Also, are you just giving me a sliced up shell card? Is this just like to use in a gas station, but it's expired? Yeah, I didn't know what to do with it. Thought I'd turn it into a romantic gift for you.
She's like, wow, the shells you get me, they're just so amazing. And he goes, why are you always being such a dick? And Marco's like, oh my God, he just gave you a shell and you're so cold about it because he's cheap. That's why she got she got stiffed with his bill the other night, and now he's giving her fucking shells he found on the ground. Is that supposed to be cute? That man looks 47 if he's a day. Okay.
How about instead of a shell, he gives her, I don't know, like a bar of soap so she can clean her back from having to lie down in the bilge of the boat last night.
Right. So yeah, common respect is free. So how about that? How about we just hand out some common respect? So then the guests are getting ready, and crazy Melissa is telling her husband behind the door, because she still doesn't understand how television works. She's like, did you hear about my dress? And he's like, oh, God, you don't have a dress to wear. She's like, no, I'm still going to wear it. And so she comes out in the dress, like with the big,
she's like
big
very
smile.
happy. Like she...
Look at me, it's me. I'm so happy to still have this dress that that wonderful young girl ironed for me. Thank you.
Margot's like, oh, you look great. It's the dress. And then Andrew, he like is like, okay, I get it. Melissa wants me to fight her battle right now. She wants to be the good guy. So Andrew's like, well, she said I bought this dress and I fed a bunch of villages in India. And then it got burned with a fucking something iron or something like that. So, yeah, thanks a lot, staff of Yacht. By the way, she's so proud that her dress fed a bunch of villages in India. You could also just donate. And to feed the
That's gross. What a gross thing to say. It's
it's so like, oh, this dress, guys, this dress helped people, and now you've ruined it. It's like, well, if you care so much about the fact that it helped people, then you shouldn't care that there's an iron print on it.
Here's my note on that line. I said, wow, you fucking little ass kissing little bitch. So that's what I have. So Margot's like, wow, it looks beautiful. So good. So then Joao is telling the guys, oh, well, tonight they're doing teppanyaki, and we're going to have to worry because they're throwing their things all over the floor. It's going to hit the floor. It'll be a little bit kind of like prom dinner in Zim.
So the girls are like, oh my God, Melissa, the dress looks great. It looks so good. Don't look at the iron print, Melissa. We'll have your head. It looks great, Melissa.
And one of the guy goes, yeah, love the iron print. Shut up, Tommy Bahama, okay? Not everybody can just leave their fucking house in a flowered shirt.
Yeah, exactly. This guy, Andrew. So Andrew is like Melissa's husband or something. And like last episode was Melissa being awful, but this episode is Andrew being awful. So Margot makes a bunch of espresso martinis, and Aisha's like, Margot has blossomed from the darling stew caterpillar that she was to a wonderful service butterfly. She just uses her initiative and figures it out and just gets it done.
Fly, Margot, fly. So then Joao is setting up with Harry, and Serena is like, listen, we're not cruising to Japan. We're in the Great Barrier Reef. And coming here and expecting a chef here to have training in this, I mean, it's just it's ignorant, really. It's just a bit ignorant, really. Which I kind of get.
I agree. I mean, you could hire, again, we don't know why they didn't hire a teppanyaki chef, but also these people are like way too into teppanyaki. Like, I understand teppanyaki is an art and a type of cuisine, and so of course, it's totally fine to be all about it. But this guy, Andrew, is like way too excited. I'm sorry. He's like, hey, so Zarina, you excited for this? I like that you got your volcano all teed up. That's my favorite part. Oh, yeah. Favorite part is the onion volcano. It's like the most passive part of the whole show. It's like a stack of onion rings lit on fire, and they just sit there for half an hour.
And she's like, well, I've never really done this before. And he goes, oh, yeah, well, guess what? Aisha, when you come to the States, we're going to show you what this is all about. You think Aisha's going to go to the States and call your asses? And she goes, you'll take me to a teppanyaki place? Do I look excited? Because I'm really quite over this. And Melissa goes, yeah, it's in Dana Point. Okay. When she said that, I was like, this explains everything. These
teppanyaki of Dana Point.
We know these people. from Dana Point who got their teppanyaki place and are just so fucking excited and thinks the rest of the world has never seen this before. Girl, Dana Point, we've seen teppanyaki before.
I know. Okay, now of course I'm looking up teppanyaki in Dana Point. There's a place called Ichibiri. Maybe it's this place. Okay, now I need to see the Yelp reviews of Ichibiri because these people are so excited.
They're such OC people. Of course they're OC. Of course they are.
Like, of course they are. Like, I mean, okay, so it has 3.5 Yelp reviews. I'm sorry, 3.5 stars. So that's not very good. So they go to a shitty teppanyaki place that's by the ocean. So it's like when you see these restaurants as you drive by, you're like, who goes to these places? It's these people.
These people. It's the lady with the melted dress. So then she goes, yeah, it's in Dana Point. And Andrew goes, we're legends there. So,
I mean, honestly, mortifying.
Do you catch the most shrimp in your mouth, Andrew?
I know. What does that mean? You're legends there. Like, but it's also like, it's like saying, like, oh yeah, you've been to Yukaku? We're legends there. I mean,
we're legends. We're like literally legends at Chili's. So Serena's like, okay, whatever you need, guys. I'm here for whatever you need. And he goes, well, we're down one. A man overboard. Okay, we're missing someone. And then we see Taylor, who's the blonde with Chanel facing out sunglasses, who gurgled her tequila, is
and she
passed
also
out in bed.
Don't forget, she also has a cult Gaia dress too. So I think that she was just trying to protect her clothing.
She's not even too drunk. She's just down there, like squatting on top of all of her clothing, like a hawk on an egg.
Batting away moths, cult little flies. Not the cult Gaia. If this gets near my cult Gaia, I'm going to kill this fly.
So they're like, wow, so beautiful. And Andrew's like, how's your toss, brah? And so Serena's like, I've never done this. I've never seen it, but. And he's like, no worries. Fake it till you make it. That's how we do things. We know, Dana Point. Okay. By the way, not specifically Dana Point. Anyone who's getting offended. This is mostly just general OC comments from being in the OC a lot, but also watching it on TV for many years.
Ron and I have odd enough been to a few restaurants in Dana Point in that area, like those restaurants that are like on the water. There's one called like the Rusty Nail or the
Pelican?
Rusty Sailor,
Is it
the
the Rusty Pelican?
Rusty Pelican. They're all shit. They're all terrible. They're just like you can see views, and it's just like they're all awful, and so it's just so funny that these people are so proud to be legends at one of them, and so then Zarina's like starting this up, you know, she's starting to cook. And he's like, let's go. We're all in this together. Hey, I like your grill, the George Foreman. I won those in college. Best 30-second hamburger ever. Like, you're talking to a professional chef. Could you stop being so obnoxious right now, saying that she's cooking on a Foreman grill?
He really is obnoxious. And what did you expect them to, like, buy a teppanyaki table that fits on a yacht for you? You jackass. Of course, what else are they going to use but some fucking plug-in flat top? What do you think they...
Yeah.
These people, they're horrible human beings. So then she does the onion thing. One kind of topples a little, but they love it anyway and applaud. And it turns out, have to say, the captain was correct. These people are idiots, and they don't need Cirque du Soleil. They need to see some fire, and they need to talk about what legends they are in Dana Point. That's literally all they wanted, and it turns out to be fine.
Yeah, and they probably could have had Culver up there as Keith Stone because these people are trash. So, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you can take the trash out of Dana Point, but you can't. No, you can take the Dana. Okay, never mind. So, meanwhile, Joao is talking to Culver downstairs. He's like, so, are you going to let loose tomorrow, or what? Are you going to go all Zim with a capital Z? And Culver's like, I think so. I think we all are, right? I want to get drunk and find a seashell by the side of the road and give it to Jamie.
And Joao's like, it's going to be different when we all leave. I'm going to Palma. How about you? And Harry's going to Sydney. And Joao starts giving Culver shit. He's like, are you going to this boat? What are you doing? And he's like, I think so. And he goes, well, have you heard from the captain about the job then? And he's like, no. And Harry's like, so you haven't even lined up the job yet? Come on, mate. Come on.
There goes that gossip officer. So Culver's like, well, he basically texted me and he was like, hey, you got it, no worries. And Joe's like, well, it's quite unheard of when people allow for couples to come on board. I mean, because if shit hits the fan, then shit hits the fan hard with couples, you know? No captain in their right mind would actually employ a couple after they've been together after 10 days. They don't say, don't screw the crew for nothing, or as they say in Zimbabwe, don't eat a Triscuit with a biscuit. Am I right?
As they say in Zimbabwe, if your name is Bobby, you've probably robbed me. So, you better be prepared for the blows, because it's going to fuck you up. Case in point, myself and Serena. At the end of the day, you'll get nothing for nothing. And that's all you can say for the life of the Zim. It's a struggle, it's a war. It's a hard industry to promise people things in.
I didn't realize that was a lyric to the song. But at the end of the day, so Culver's like, I think we'll be fine.
At the end of the day, you get Zimbabwe for Zimbabwe.
So then meanwhile, Zarina, she flips a shrimp. She almost gets it in the guy's mouth, but like gets his nose and stuff. And Andrew's like, that was a good throw. So then there's this guy, Ross. And he's like, hey, I want to throw an egg at Andrew. And his wife is Michaela, spelled like MyCHGHKVWYAE-LQ @G.
Yep.
And she's like, Ross, sit down. And he's like, no. And so he's like, goes to throw the egg, but instead he bites into it because he thinks it's a hard-boiled egg. But it's just an egg.
He goes, I thought that was hard boiled. Oh. And then Andrew cracks up and he goes, hard boiled? That was good. And he sits down and Michaela goes, you're done. You are done. And like gives like a
furious. He's broken the cul-de-sac rule. Like, first rule of cul-de-sac club, do not make an ass of yourself. Second rule of cul-de-sac club, you can talk about cul-de-sac club. You actually can talk about it. It's okay.
This really is, don't worry, darling, this whole thing. It's so funny. So Serena's like, well, I guess I can work with this. I mean, if you're in a marijuana company, apparently you're pretty chill. So, also sharing is caring. And so she throws another shrimp and misses again. And so the captain comes out. And she's about to throw for the captain. And is he going to catch it in his mouth? And it's flying in the air. And we cut to commercial.
Yes.
What's going to happen?
And then when we come back, we see those sharks in the sand again, with the other one just like rubbing its belly over the other shark's snout. I was like, what is this? Is this like the grandparents and Willy Wonka all in the same bed for right now? Like, come on, let's get some space here. You have a whole ocean and you have no predators.
Ben, stop talking so much. People are holding their breath, and he catches it. He catches it, guys. Okay, everybody take a breath. We made it through. So Serena's like, oh, I don't know why I get myself so worked up. And the captain hugs her. And she's so proud of herself for making it through teppanyaki night. And honestly, I'm proud of myself. Actually, I'm not proud of myself because I got so angry last week about teppanyaki. Then I did again today. And you know what? I have nothing to be proud of. I'm actually ashamed of myself that I got so upset over something that just turned out to be so simple, guys. Teppanyaki.
Yeah, teppanyaki. Listen, we can't all be legends at teppanyaki. So everyone goes to bed. Now it's the morning, and we see like a very generic bluefish, like a lacking in character or style, or it's basically just like the Teddy Mellencamp of fish, just sort of like poking around the reef. And then people are waking up. People want coffee. People want more coffee. Ace just putting in contacts for Jason. And then Joao is talking to Zarina. And they're talking in the galley, and he's like, so, how was your dinner? And she's like, well, I think it was a full-on emotional moment for everyone yesterday, especially when that little prawn tumbled out of the guy's mouth and touched the hem of his wife, and she threw a glass of water in his face and said, not the coat guy. It was very dramatic. Very, very dramatic.
Well, it's also an emotional day for her because Joao iced her out all day for having the nerve to trigger him on their date. Yes. So he's like, yes, well, I was actually in a shitty mood yesterday morning. And then he goes, genuinely. And she goes, yeah, you were dead, hey? You know, I haven't seen you like that before. And he goes, well, it's because you called me fake.
And she's like, well, see, I knew you were bitter about it. He goes, I'm not. It's the last day. It's the last full day. Ha 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 ha. And Serena's like, am I the only one confused? I think he's sad. I've never seen him like this before. And this is what he's telling me as well. And he has feelings for me. And he's changed. And that he's changed. And maybe he has. I don't know.
No,
So-
he has not changed. People do not change that drastically, that quickly. So he's like, you know, it's always hard to say bye to people. And, well, obviously, some sadder than others. I'm just slowing down my laugh because it's the last time. So then we...
It's the last Zimbabwe. It's
the last
Zim night. Took a little Zim. Had a little drink.
Zim, and nothing but Zim. Parsley, peppers, cabbages, and celery, asparagus, and watercress, and fiddle fins, and lettuce. You said, oh, Zim. But it wasn't Zim, because I caught him in the garden in my autumn one Zim. He was zimming me. Zimming through my rutabaga, rooting through my rutabaga, ruffing through my bruffy, and my champion, my favorite. I should have laid a Zim on him right there. Should have turned him into stone, or a dog, or a Zim. Okay, back to the show.
Zim, zim, zim. Okay. So, there'll be more of that to come. So, so there's more coffees are going out, and Luca and Jamie are hugging, like, good morning, and stuff like that. And he's asking her what she's going to do after holiday. And she's like, I think I'm going to the mid, but I really have no idea. I hitched my cart to an aimless horse, and
I've hitched my cart to a pair of giant white teeth, and I'm just waiting to see where it takes me. This is how the hottest people on the boat flirt. And I think it's so funny because it's like the hottest people in any workplace. If you ever watch them flirt, it's like, what are you doing? Nothing. What are you doing? Well, I hope I get some time to snowboard. I love snowboarding. Me too. I hope I get time to do some scuba diving. I love scuba diving. I do too. Then they just stare at each other. God bless it.
So then now the guests are packing. It's the last docking, and Margot turns to Aisha. It's the last docking before we go to Zim.
Okay, yeah, they're packing. It's ending. Aisha checks in with Harry. It's the last one, everybody. They're going to park now. Aisha, and Margot. I don't know why I wrote that. So Margot comes to Aisha, and she's like, so, Aisha, I just wanted to ask you. I'm not gay. Sorry about that. She's, well, I'm not gay either, actually. It's like, okay, you didn't need to get all serious about this, guys. This isn't a serious conversation. Nobody needs to admit anything. I'm very, very gay.
I think now is a good time to mention that this episode I was looking at Margot's face and I realized she kind of looks like a Bonnie Hunt, cute blonde Midwestern version of Gary from Below Deck Sailing. If you look at her face, you will see it. It's shocking, but it's there. Just imagine her with Gary's hair. It's there more than you want to realize. No. I'm sorry.
I won't let my mind go there. So okay. Aisha's like, but honestly, Margot, the stew you've become compared to where you first came on, I'm so fucking proud of you. The thing you need to work on is getting that big dick energy. And I'm not saying that because I'm gay. I'm just saying, act like you were the man. That sounded gay as well, didn't it? Then I'm really considering being gay after trying to give you this pep talk.
I think this was a life-changing talk for me. So the guests leave, they hug and everything. There's like a honk. There's a honk, and actually they haven't left yet. Sorry, but there's just the boat honks. And so Jason is like, this season has definitely been emotional. This boat's got nostalgia. It's got something. It's got something I've never driven before. It has, dare I say it, a single prop. It's a revamped fishing vessel from 1977. I had to slip that one in one more time before the season ends.
It's like, but the crew there, with the crew is great. There wasn't much fallout. Who am I talking? There was tons of fallout. There's lots of fallout.
It's an HR disaster.
So they gather for goodbyes. Crew hugs. The couple comes out and hugs, and the captain hands Melissa money, actually. And she's like, oh, no, you can't pay for my dress. That's not going to come out of her money, right? I would want that. I've already put a contract out on that bitch's head in Dana Point. So just make sure that doesn't ever show up there. Thank you.
We already put a picture of her face up in the teppanyaki place in Dana Point. Okay, not allowed. Yeah, I love Melissa trying to really care about the crew. Just wants to make sure they get their good tip, even though she hates their guts. So now everyone's like cheering and running through the boat because the guests are gone. The season's over. Everyone's crazy. It's going to be drinking. This is the last tip meeting. They get $17,000. It winds up being $1,400 per person, and it's $164,000 over the entire season. So everyone's just like cheering and happy and excited.
And the captain's like, yeah, I'm just going to pay for that dress tech one for the team. Accidents do happen. They do. Take it from me. That Olive Garden I crashed into in 10 clips a season has still not recovered from that. So have a good night out, everybody.
Yeah, it's not so crazy. Sometimes you get an iron print on a dress, and by iron print I mean a ship, and by dress I mean a restaurant on land. It happens.
Mm-hmm. So they get a decent tip, like you said, and now Margot is complimenting Jamie's boobs, which is nice, and Margot's smelling her pits, and everybody's just getting ready to go out and have a party. And
by the way, Jamie got the helmet. Jamie got the helmet,
sorry.
and she was
I thought you
not happy.
That part.
No, I didn't say that part, but Jamie got the helmet, and you can see she's not thrilled about it because she's like, but this is going to affect my hair, my outfit. Like, she's so humorless about the helmet.
How am I going to drop Culver for someone better wearing the stupid outfit?
You just cost the captain like $500, so you better wear that helmet.
Oh, yeah. She's like, but I'm hot. He's like, still. So then Van's to go out, and Jamie is asking Culver again. She's like, so have you heard from your captain yet? And he's like, no, but I'll call him. And then in the other van, the captain's there, and Joelle's like, so did Sheffy tell you we met before on a night out? She thought I was a right asshole, didn't you? I was like, you are, and you just acted like an asshole. Are we just... I love that Joelle rewrites history like this because now he's just going to completely erase yesterday. Like, she can't... Can you believe that she thought I was an asshole? You were an asshole yesterday. Yes, yeah. I can believe it.
Yeah. So Margot... Then, like, Joelle's, like, trying to get into the cooler in the van. And Margot's like, oh, Joelle's trying to drink more. And he's like, yes, I am. And Serena goes, Joelle's a good drinker. That was my diss. And so Joelle was like, yes, I am a good drinker. It's taken a lot of practice. Did Chef... Oh, yes. I think you just literally said all this part.
Well, he's saying, you should have seen me 4 years ago. And she goes, why, were you bad? And he's like, Serena's like, just different. And he goes, he's telling us he thought he was in a good place with Serena, and he's very disheartened because he was wrong. So wait, you'll admit this shit to Margot that you were terrible 4 years ago, but you can't just say to Serena, I'm sorry I was an asshole the other day? Like, what? I don't get it.
I was really hoping to end the season on a high. I mean, here I had found this lovely lady who has a Z literally in her name. I mean, jackpot! But now I feel disheartened because we weren't in a good morning anymore, in a good place anymore.
I was thinking of our child, Zimrina. Oh. So then they go to a special dinner at Flames of the Forest, which is a great intro to local culture.
I was like, is it a gay bar? It's a gay bar, isn't it?
That's our local culture. We're like, these are dicks. Dicks swinging in your face. It's like teppanyaki, but they're throwing dicks at your face.
It's basically, if you want to sign up for a camping trip in WeHo, just go to Flames of the Forest.
Flamers of the Forest. It's just Ronnie and Ben waiting in front of a tree in the middle of West Hollywood. It's not even a forest.
Passive judgment. Just counts as a forest.
Just one tree.
Nice forest.
So we see a lot of like local stuff, like fire.
A lot of indigenous performers, fire dancing, didgeridoo, and everything. And Luca, the didgeridoo comes out, and Luca goes, "That's a didgeridoo fucking do." I'm like, yes. Did you think it was a violin? Pretty clear it was a didgeridoo.
I wrote didgeridoo party. So then they eat some kangaroo. They get some kangaroo. And Jamie's like, kangaroo, it's a super lean meat full of iron. Which is funny because I'm actually a super lean meat that irons quite a bit because I took over Margot's shift at Third Stew. So Joanne's like, very intellectual. So how are you guys going to work then? meaning her and Culver. And Culver is
Yes.
like trying to laugh and take
Culver
it on
has
the
a mouthful
chin.
of food, just staring. Culver does that thing where when he's caught off guard, he always has food in his mouth that's always like kind of pouring out of his mouth, and he just stops and stares like, oh, what'd you say? Did you say something? So Joel's like, I mean, you'd be surprised what goes over his head. Not hard because he's so short. And Culver's like, God damn it, J-Wow.
And we see Aisha's face and she's pissed. She's like, okay, here he comes, right? Because we see here's the chihuahua we all know and don't love. So the captain's like, okay, well, I'm enjoying hanging out with you guys. Don't forget to drink water. And so they start doing the thing where they thank the captain. Serena thanks him. And Marge is like, I would have been fired ages ago. And they all crack up. And then Drow starts again. He's like, Curva, let's bring up this word initiative, shall we?
Culver's like, initiative. He's like, you know, the magic seaman, that was impressive and we appreciate that. You know that. But if you could just like raise your deck work up, you'd be fantastic. It's so dick. He's doing this right in front of the captain. It's so obnoxious to do that.
Yeah, he's just being a total prick. And Serena has a grossed out face. And Culver is like, Joie's one of those guys who likes to stir up trouble sometimes. He just does. Maybe you should stay in your lane.
So Zarmina's like, can we talk about anal? Wait, why did she say that? Wait, did she say, can we talk about anal? What? What's the context? Was she asking a rhetorical question about someone being anal, or she wants to talk about anal sex, or is that just something that was not in the show? I don't remember.
Who said that?
I wrote down, Serena, can we talk about anal?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe she was just
Did
like
that
making
happen?
a little side comment. I don't know.
Or maybe it was like
I didn't get
12:30 in the morning, and I was like, what? I don't know.
So Captain Jason leaves, and Ace just like, oh my God, guys, we're so lucky. It's insane. And Luca goes, that sound coming out of that piece of wood. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It's like
He's like,
he's like completely bowled over by the didgeridoo. Do you guys not have Outback Steakhouse commercials in your land? Like you've never heard a didgeridoo? Come on, Luca.
but I love that he's actually genuinely moved by it. He's like, I've never heard anything like that before in my life. And it just cuts to Jamie going, shall we go to Gilligan's? It's like, okay. So that was, I hope you enjoyed your 0.3 seconds of reflection. Off to Gilligan's.
So Jamie and Luca are not going to have like a life as an old couple, just like watching the sunset and listening to didgeridoo music. I don't think.
No, they won't. So Luca gets in the van with all the ladies. And Culver's like, hey, oh, they got a girls' van. Oh, and Luca's in it. Okay. He is so it's hilarious how passive he is with this relationship. Okay.
Yes.
She doesn't want to ride with me. That's fine. I'm sure it'll work out.
So then the girls, Aisha's singing, we're gonna get fucked because we got 3 pussies in this van. Like trying to make that work. Money in my pocket. How does that song go? Na 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 na. I got money in my pocket.
I don't know if I know that. Is it? Because I got one hand in my pocket and the other one's playing a didgeridoo. Was that the song you're talking about?
I've got 1 pussy in my pocket.
I'm first stew, but I'm third stew. I'm cleaning, but I'm on service. Yeah.
So Aisha's like, 2 hours back to his usual self. He read his head tonight. And then we go back to Serena with the boys, and Luca is texting Jamie in her a picture of her and like her pretty booby top that she's wearing, and he's like,
Yeah,
cute girl, wink, cute pic girl, wink, and she's like, stalker, wink.
And then we go back to Zarina talking to Culver, and she's like, so you're like totally in love with her, eh? And Joao's like, that makes one of you. And then Zarina's like, your alter ego's coming out this evening. Because, oh, no. This is not my alter ego. This is just who I am. No, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
And she's like, this is what I've been waiting for. It couldn't last the whole time, could it? Because we all knew this was coming. You know, It's another... Believe your gut, people.
Believe your gut. The Joao gut. The feeling that we all had when we saw him come back on our screens in that trailer. Believe that feeling. So Aisha's talking about Joao like he's back. This is what we've been all waiting for. But while that's happening, Luca and Jamie are quietly texting each other, and because she was like stalker, and he's like, why? And she goes, kidding. I just don't want anything to hurt Culver. But Luke and I are getting along really well. I'm like, just say leave Culver. Go for
No,
Luca.
she wants that damn job. And I like that it's so funny that they keep making fun of her for it in the editing too. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm going to do this season in the med, so I'm just going to wait.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So Joao is like, stop, Culver, stop making promises you can't make. You can't tell her she has a job in this industry. And Culver's like, I told her if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, bro. And he goes, so what's plan B? She's waiting for you to produce. That is hilarious coming from you, Joao. So Culver has to play HR now? Joao wouldn't even pay for plan B after banging someone. Get the fuck out of here, Joao. Mind your own goddamn business.
Yeah. And Culver's like, I appreciate you so much. And Joao goes, if you cannot give her the job, tell her what the plan B is because she's waiting. And Culver's like, again, dog, we don't have an offer. So she's like, I don't know what we're going to do. Which is, by the way, really bad answer for what's your plan B. And said, but what is your plan B? He goes, well, then we'll go fucking camping. Who cares? There's enough Dutch babies for everyone at Kev Kim's kitchen.
Mind your own business. You're not my mom, or I'd be making out with you right now. Focus on your own relationship.
He's like, well, then that's what you fucking say to her so she knows it. And Culver's like, but we have chill out, dog. You're not my mom.
And he's like, what's my relationship? He
like,
says, focus on your relationship. And he goes, what's my relationship then? And he goes, with past Chef Kim, current Chefy. And Serena's like, I don't need a relationship with Joao. Joao, what? We're just casual. Hey, like it's not a big deal what they do. What do I care? It's casual me. It's casual Serena. It's like, wow. Could you not have your voice go up 3 octaves while you try and convince us how casual this all is?
Yeah, and Joao's like, well, it's not casual. It's like, but you just caused a situation, and this is not Joao, you're not you. And he goes, well, you're not you either. She's like, asshole. And Joao goes, you know what? Fuck it. It's over. So now he's going to just get wasted.
And she's like, wow, you've been an angel all season, and now back to old Joao, huh? And he tells us, well, if I can't do anything right, might as well go out with a bang. So you see, he's not even going to try. He tried for 5 minutes. So now we're at Gilligan's, and Harry dances in, as Harry does, very awkwardly and cutely. And then Jamie just lets her helmet fall to the floor, and they're like, you have to keep that on. She's like, no.
And Joao is like declaring he's going to go on a bender. Like he's getting wasted. His shirt's like already half open, and he's like, I want to dance, and I want to drink, and I want to carry the flag for Zimbabwe at the Olympics. And so there's like more dancing, and then Joao just goes up to Margot because they're both wasted, and he's like, can I kiss you? Please, you're real. Can I give a little zim to your Zimbabwe right now, please?
And she's like, what? And he goes, for real, can I kiss you? And so she pushes his arm, and then they do kiss. But it's not like a huge makeout. It's just kind of a little kiss. But Serena and Aisha are watching them. And Serena's like, are you joking right now? Are you joking? Is he about to toss a piece of steak into her mouth? What is going on here? And Joao's like, that's all I wanted. Because everything from you, everything that you do, Margot, is real.
I'm like, this is the first time you've talked to her all season, by the way. So Zarina is like, it's fucking humiliating. He's using Margot now to get to me, and no one deserves to see this. I'd rather be back on the boat practicing my onion volcanoes. He's such a twat.
So Margot's like, but what about you and the chef? And he's like, it's casual. It's just casual. And she goes, oh, wait a minute. Where's Serena? So she goes to find Serena, and Aisha's like, what was it? 2 days ago, when you were like, I need to decide if I'm going to give it a go or not. And I was like, be cautious. And it's, her moment to say, I told you so, which she has reserved that right. And Serena goes, well, and now I've decided I'm probably not going to. Come on, have some self-respect. Probably no. Get the fuck away from him.
She's like, I love you, but he's a fucking... And that's beeped out. I'm imagining it could be any number of slurs. I'm assuming... I'm going to just go with cut fitness and support it. So then Zarina... So one of the reasons why I really like Zarina is that, like, I feel like she has a really good, like, moral compass. Or, like, I don't know. I just like what she stands for because now she's hugging Margot. And, like, I think some other people would have actually been mad at Margot. But she sees that Margot is, like, kind of... lost in the world and like prone to being preyed on by people like Joao's, etc. So Margot's feeling bad.
Margot also has good girl code where Joao does that and then she's like, I'm going straight to Serena.
Yeah. So Serena's like hugging her. Like, I just like that. It's almost like the sisterhood comes before the man. And so Margot's like, Joao was being a fuckboy. I'm sorry. And Sori's like, oh, don't ever say sorry. He's a fucker. So now Joao's drinking more, and Jamie is doing some white girl dance in front of Luca. That's like very, very embarrassing. She's like trying to twerk.
Is. Oh, she's doing that. I mean, it's not quite as white girl twerking as Courtney's, because Courtney's I think is the worst, but it's close.
It's really bad. It's just like awkward. It looked like a praying mantis settling in for the night.
It did. That's a very good way to say it. It's like a praying mantis is like, you know what? I'm going to just read a magazine and sit here crisscross applesauce.
Okay, I'm just going to sit down here. God, I love this seat. I'm just going to sit down and, okay, it's been a good day. I ate a little thing.
You guys, let's get some more conversation from the hottest people at work talking to each other, okay?
Hot undermining?
Yeah, Jamie and Luca talking. Jamie goes, you're fucking hot. He goes, what? She goes, you're fucking hot. He goes, you too. And that brings us to the end of the hottest people at work talking. Cut to Jamie, cut to Culver going, I know Jamie really well. Guys, it's another episode. The hottest people at work talking. Jamie, you're hot. Still just saying that. And Lucas says, can I get a kiss? And then they make out. And now Culver is looking for Jamie. And Jamie's, after she kisses Luca, pulls back and goes, no, I can't.
We should also mention that during this entire evening, Culver has, like, stood up on some sort of ledge and has been dancing by himself, doing, like, weird stripper kind of role play. Like, he did the thing where he drank water and then he like spits it out of his mouth like a blowhole, like a whaled blowhole. Like, he's doing like Magic Mike things. He's doing flips. I'm like, bro, I think that you just want to be a stripper. Just be a stripper. But ultimately, he's just nowhere near Jamie. He's like, Jamie is off with Luca. Culver is just doing his own show. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even know. He's totally oblivious to where his girlfriend is.
Right. So Harry is watching Jamie and what's his buns kiss, and so he's gobsmacked, because that's Harry.
He's like, oh my god!
So Culver's like, where's Jamie? Where is she? So then Harry comes wasted Joao and Serena, and Serena's still sitting there pissed. And now they're all leaving, and Joao won't get in the car, and everybody's just shit-faced at this point. So Luca's with Serena in the back seat, and Harry and Joao are in the front seat. So Joao's like, am I in trouble? And Harry's like, I saw you hook up with Jamie in the nightclub, Luca. I saw you. And he's like, a little bit, yeah. Serena's like, you kissed her? Oh, fuck me.
And And then everyone gets back to the boat, and everyone's just like wasted, and everyone's just like stumbling around. Like everyone's just a disaster. And then, so everyone just starts getting into bed because it's already 3 a.m. And we see some strange, like Audrey 2 fish. Did you see that fish that was there? That had just like opened up its mouth. It was like, feed me.
It's that flatfish. It's not because Audrey 2 is like round. This is one of those flatfish fuckers with the gigantic gaping mouths. It's like it looks like bubbles. You know those gigantic bubble things? Like it's like a bubble one, but it's a gigantic version. And it always comes out in a weird oblong shape. Ugh, gross.
But it's
what a
like,
gross
but its head was like
fish.
all like mossy and stuff. It had crazy camouflage. And then everyone gets into bed, and then we see just a big old whale fish, just like hello, just swimming along with its little like gal pals, you know, because it always has those little fish with it. You know, they're like, "Hi guys, let's go to the mall. Let's go to whalefish ball." So we see that, and we see manta rays. They're sort of like they're like loading in all the like whatever's left of their marine life footage.
And it looked like the stingray had somebody riding it too. It was like a hang out with your friends kind of a day, except for that fucking ocean floor thing that came up.
Except those sharks, those creepy ass sharks that everyone's like, no one likes them in the neighborhood. Those people are weird.
So now it's the morning, and Serena is, I don't care. Why am I reading what people want for coffee?
Well, because
like, come on, bro.
Yeah. So Joao's like, well, I've not been that drunk in years. Ha 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 ha. No regrets. And then,
so she's going on the dock. Here's why. I said goes on to do K with coffee, and I'm like, she's doing ketamine with coffee. Ronnie, what are you writing? I got so mad at myself. But she's walking out to the dock to have a coffee.
I found out that Whitney was the source of that rumor.
And Joao comes to hang out with her and just make light of it, right? So now Joao has done this thing where he's like, okay, I'm going to get shit-faced, act like kind of an asshole, but then I can say all of my behavior was because I was drunk. I shouldn't have gotten drunk, when his behavior started way before he got drunk, like a whole day before. So he can't just be like, oh, it's because I drank. Like, we're not all that stupid, dude. Are people this stupid that they can just be like, oh, he's right, it must have all been alcohol?
Yeah. She's like, but it wasn't very nice. It was all a bit too much for me. You were so close, Joao. And he's like, oh, so you're going to base everything off of what, the one night I get drunk? Yes. Because if you guys have known each other for 3 weeks and one night you get like that, that's like a large percentage of time that you guys have known each other recently.
And the day you hurt her feelings was not last night. It was the day before. So nice try.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, well, how many times have you woken up and said, how was I last night? And she's like, well, I've never been that disrespectful, no matter how drunk I've been. I mean, I thought we were friends. And last night you weren't a friend. Friends don't do that.
He's like, I'm sorry. And she goes, I don't know what to do. I'm like, stop talking to this person. He's a waste of your time. And he's
away,
like,
yeah.
He's like, I guess we're not on the same page. And she goes, I feel sorry for the guy. He has a lot of demons to work on, and said something about Zim demons. Not sure what that meant, but I'll be his friend and I'll help him where he needs it. But I'm shut off with him now. I'm done.
So Joao goes inside and starts crying against the hallway. Now notice, he's like 2 steps from a bedroom where he could be crying. But he's going to stop in the hallway, so Serena has to pass him and see him and his fake fucking tears. So she stops and she hugs him, and he's crying and telling us, I haven't been like that in years. It's so stupid, but I don't want to lose my shit. I don't want to be that person. That is the person you are. This is the fake person. It makes me crazy with this guy.
Yeah, he's like, I've stayed away from that person for years, and I feel like I do so much good because I want to, and then I fuck it up with one night. Reverse, ha 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 ha, reverse, ha 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 ha.
So now it's time to go pack, everybody. Okay.
It's time for Jamie to pretend like she doesn't remember last night. So she goes, oh, I feel so good this morning. There's a little pep in my step. And then she sees Luca, and she goes, oh, I think I got into a little bit of trouble with you last night. And he's like, oh, yeah? She's like, yeah.
So now he goes into Aisha and Serena's room, and Serena's like, "Oh, I heard you hooked up with Jamie last night. What's that about?" And Aisha's like, "I'm not surprised because you've been like eyeing each other all season. I was listening to you talk on the camera. One of you said hi, and the other one said hi, and the other one said, 'You look good,' and the other one said, 'You look good.' I've never heard such riveting dialogue. Are you destined to get married?"
So much chemistry. So Luca's like, I should probably confess my sins. And Joel's like, you've got bigger demons than I do, and I've got big demons. Did you not see me against the wall right there? If you go now, you can still see some wetness from my tears against the wall. Go look now, my regret on the wall.
So now they all start coming in, and Margot's like, "Wait, you made out with Jamie? Does Culver know?" And he doesn't. And Jamie's like, "Oh my God, Jamie, come here. Do you guys know you made out last night?" Jamie goes, "We did. Oh no, fuck."
I guess we'll be broken up now. So Jamie tells us, I was just hoping to hide the truth away from Culver. I've been cheated on in the past, and it was gut-wrenching. It was awful, and Culver doesn't deserve that, although he did give me a broken seashell, so I don't know.
He does deserve it. He totally deserves it. Cheat on him. I say cheat on Culver, and you've been together for 5 minutes. Can we stop acting like, Jessica Tandy cheated on him? Like
he took you into the bilge to have sex. Like that's a breakup offense right there.
And you did it. You should break up with yourself as well while you're at it.
So Zarina's like, oh, Luca, it's not your fault. You're a sexy, single, cutie bastard. So Jamie goes up to Culver. Culver's just in his room. Like, he's so oblivious. Every single other person's, like, in one room, and he's just in his room like, all right, everything's fine. Nothing I could be missing out on this boat right now. So Jamie walks in. It's like, babe, I literally walked in that room and everyone was like, do you know that you made out last night? And I was like, who? And they were like, you and Luca. And watching Culver having to process in real time a piece of news that shatters his worldview was amazing.
He's doing that, like holding the back of his neck rub, and he's like doing the Ali Sheedy jaw clicking thing from Breakfast Club. And he just keeps looking at the room cam like, oh my God, is that thing on? So funny.
His brain is trying to like turn over information really quickly. Like you could see, like you could almost hear that like fax machine noise, like.
It's like, I need to be eating during this. I can't take news like this without a constant influx of calories.
Where's my
So he's like,
shake?
I don't know what you want me to say. And he's pouting. He's like, I'm sorry. And he goes, I mean, what the fuck, babe? And she goes, honestly, don't even remember. I didn't even remember until they just told me. And he's like, well, I guess I'll just pack, because I've been packing and I'm going through all this stuff. Like, oh, look at these starfish. These starfish, 2 of them. This is when I asked her to be my girlfriend. Oh, wow. List of free things. Come on, dude. Like, how many free things are you going to use here?
He like tries to guilt her. He's like, here, you can have one. Here, keep yours. I'll keep mine. Thanks. Appreciate you. Like, is this supposed to devastate her right now? The fossilized or petrified starfish that he found, and like
the other free shit
I
you found on the
gave this to
beach that day. Oh my God. Would it kill you to like go to a scarf shop? I mean, I know that's not what you buy people these days, but like figuratively, seriously. So he's like, you can keep your starfish and I'll keep mine. Thanks. Appreciate ya.
So then we see a crocodile, which I thought was a real interesting twist that we went into like the reptile space for this. But then now,
but also like nice karma. Enjoy your fucking karma, Culver, because you totally led somebody on and then treated them like crap.
Yep.
And you have not paid for that at all. So enjoy that.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. So now Joao, like, while Culver's like sulking, Joao's like, I'm sorry to interrupt this stupid breakup, but I have to pack for Zimbabwe. So then Jamie leaves, and Margot's like, what did he say? She's like, well, he doesn't really want to talk to me right now. He gave me this strange starfish. I think it was supposed to mean something to him, but honestly, I wasn't really listening to what he said.
So we get our first goodbye, and it's Margot. And they do some real quick goodbyes, which I loved. I hope they do this all the time. And the captain actually says she did a great job and offers her a job on his next boat in Thailand. as third stew, which I think is crazy. I wonder if that's the next. Oh, well, that couldn't be it. That wouldn't be Down Under, would it? I was like, is that the next season of this? What's happening?
It's down under, then a little bit up a little bit. Also, by the way, Luca went in to see Culver to apologize. He's like, yo, so just want to apologize, brother, for what happened last night. And Culver's like, it's all good. Luca just walks away. I was like, okay, great.
Yeah, Luca's like bare minimum. He's like, listen, I'm going to do emotionally what you've done physically all season, the bare minimum. So then after Margot leaves, Culver calls Chef Kim, and I love that this scene is Chef Kim in bed in her bra. I died.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys, like, come on.
So he's like, it's our last day. She goes, oh, good. What are your plans now? He goes, well, I just had my girlfriend come in and tell me she made out with someone else last night. She goes, oh my God, what did she say? She said this was better for me. Did she say, oh wow, it was actually nice to be with a hot person for once? Did she say, God, it was nice to be with someone who looked like give me more than just a starfish? Did she say that, Coles?
He's like, she just doesn't remember, and she's crying about it. And she goes, Culver, I'm sorry, but Culver, you have to be prepared. This is self-sabotage. Like, she's not going to leave Australia. You know that. So before you chalk it up to going home, you should see if you're in sync outside that boat. Take the high road, Culver. Take the high road. I don't know what any of that means, really, except some girl that you're supposedly girlfriends with just cheated on you, so stay with her. I don't know what kind of advice that is. I mean,
Chef Kim is like, I want grandbabies. So
she's like, don't come home this soon. Please let me have my own life for 2 seconds.
I know. I can't make more Dutch babies. So now
literally
Harry says
out of
goodbye.
flour and eggs. Like, please.
Maryland has put a cease and desist on me getting flour.
Inflation is really killing me at the grocery store with those Dutch babies.
So now Harry says goodbye, and Jason's like, Harry, look at that smile. I'm like, do we have to? So Jason, he just loves Harry's growth. And Harry's like, I just wanted to be a sponge. And you know what? I'm going to work with my brother for a year. And as far as my love life is concerned, I'm not going to be chasing women anymore. I'm going to chase my brother. And I'm going to go back home and go to a beach in Sydney and put on my budgies and let the women come to me. Yeah. Good luck.
Just please don't dance or laugh.
Straight jacket is what you need.
Yeah. So then Luca and Captain are doing their goodbyes, and the captain's like, you're great, you're hot. I mean, congratulations. You basically won the genetic lottery. Get off my boat. Bye.
Question. How do you feel?
You're not a single prop. I'll give you that.
Question. Now that you've cut your teeth over here, how do you feel about working for a lady that sort of looks like He-Man? Just think about it. Have a good one.
So then Culver and Jamie, Culver is like, well, do you want to talk again before you leave? And she's like, well, I just want you to know I really love you, Culver, and I just hate myself so much for last night. And he's like, it hurt real bad, but, you know, it still hurts, but I know what you and I have together. I mean, basically,
if we have to break up, we have to break up. I fully understand.
No, I mean, listen, you're the hottest person on this boat, and I can't look stupid for letting go of a sure thing just to go for someone hotter only to get dumped. So, you know, bigger picture is we've grown close over the whole season, and I want to see where it goes. And
where it goes is it's clearly over, right? It's clearly over. I'm so sorry, right?
No, I can't wait to get married. She's like, to completely somebody else different, and I won't be invited because you're for sure breaking up with me right now.
You're so heartbroken that you just have to leave the boat right now before this conversation goes on any further beats?
And he's not getting any kind of signal, and she's not just taking this moment to be like, sorry I hurt your feelings, bye.
Yeah.
Instead, I think she's still waiting for this gig, which is so fucking funny because the producer's like, well, why are you leaving the boat with Culver? And she's like, well, and she scratches her head and she's like, I mean, I can see how much he's hurting and I feel guilty. And sometimes it's just, you know, I'm gutless and giving up something where I should, and I just want him to feel better, so that's where we're at. But you're embarrassing him really hard on camera on a national TV show, and you don't care about that. So stop pretending this is about sparing his feelings. You're avoiding conflict, but also you're waiting to see if you're going to get this next job. And sure enough, when they show them walking off, she goes, yeah, so did you hear from Captain Olaf yet? Did you?
we never get to find out. So now Zarina's saying goodbye to Captain Jason, and she's like, I love you, never leave me. She goes, oh, you're a funny one. Yes, that was absolutely a joke. It was 100% a joke. Okay. And so she talks about it was a great experience and leaves. And then Joao says goodbye, and he's like, all in all, I still have a lot to learn about myself. Are you ready for a relationship? Tick, no. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to focusing on my job and my career. And, I've learned more than enough from Jason to pursue my goals and progress.
Yeah, I like that he got his last fuckboy line in there. I still have so much to learn about myself. Oh, okay, Joao. Okay, I'm sure you're gonna. Yeah, the old work in progress, Joao 3.0. So then Aisha and Captain have their final scene together, and they cry. Well, she cries, and they're such a good team. And then she tries to make him put in his contacts by himself for the last time, and he can't do it. So she does it for him and pokes him in the eye. And he's like, ow, I can still feel your fingernails.
Oh, you don't want to know where that fingernail was before this interview? So
the things that fingernail has seen.
If these cuticles could talk. So then she's gone. He's like, this season we've done it again. Well, not crashed into a restaurant on shore, but god damn it, I tried. There were so many challenges, like staying in the ocean, but we were there to support each other all along the way, and I'm very proud of everyone, and I think it's hats off, and I'm never wearing budgie smugglers again. Maybe. Depends on how big the tip is.
That's it. That brings us to
there should
the
have been
end
a circle that closed it on his face, and he winked, and then it closed up.
That brings us to the end of Below Deck Down Under. Thank you, everybody, so much for being with us this season. Don't worry, Below Deck Med is back in about 2 minutes. So we'll be back then to do some more Below Deck. Love you guys. Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.